What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is going to be my comprehensive analysis and review of Kyza, and I'll be going over the best builds that you can run on them for different game modes like Arena, Summoner, Duels, Aether raids, and PvE. So with that said, let us begin. Kyza is a red infantry beast with Polished Fang as their preferred weapon. So this weapon gives them +3 defense, and at start of combat if foes HP is above or equal to 75%, then they can get +6 attack and defense during the combat, and it also has a defense check. So if Kyza has got more defense than the enemy by 1 point, they're basically going to be getting +1 special cooldown on foes attack, and they also get +5 damage per hit. So this kind of special cooldown charge is only going to be happening on the opponent's hits, and they're not going to be getting any kind of special charges on their own hits. So if someone attacks Kyza in the enemy phase, then they can just retaliate back with Moonbow, and the +5 damage per hit is really good, and it's really consistent and certainly helps them with the damage output. And then they've got the standard infantry beast conditions, so if they are not near a human, then they can transform, get +2 attack, and also get +7 true damage when the special triggers. So basically with this weapon they can actually get like +12 true damage if all of the conditions are met. And finally they also get null guard and null special acceleration. So this is going to help Kyza bypass any kind of guard opponent, or even the opponents who have got special fighter or armored wall, for example, like Fallen Edelgard and stuff. Not caring about opponent's guard is extremely good with their playstyle where they want to spam specials because of getting the special cooldown charge on foes attacks. As for stat spread of Kyza, they've got base attack of 39 and base 41 defense, having super boon in it, and also having a super boon in their speed, despite the fact that it's only base 26 and it's really middling, and they also have workable resistance. Now Kyza's BST is 181, so if you want to reach 185 BST for arena purpose, you'll have to use some kind of trait fruit to give them plus speed IV or plus defense IV. Most people are going to be opting for the plus defense IV because of the nature of their weapon and how the weapon wants Kyza to have more defense than the opponent. The only red beast infantry unit in the game is Keaton, but unfortunately Keaton is not a free-to-play unit. However, we can compare Kyza to the last year's newer unit that we got in Keaton. So Keaton is green, and as you can see, Kyza is basically going to be a better version of Keaton, and also being red, having a much better preferred weapon. So if you forgot what Keaton's weapon does, as you can see, Polished Fang basically gives you a more consistent way of having true damage, and also has the null guard and null special acceleration built into it. Not to mention Kyza's resistance is much better, and they can still take some hits on the magical side. Keaton's is quite low. Both of them are going to be functioning as a physical tank, but Kyza, being a modern unit and a recent unit, is definitely going to be much better. You can also compare Kyza with Yanfei. Now even though Yanfei is not a beast unit, at the end of the day Yanfei is red and he's still a grail option. Now Kyza has got the beast transformation, which is not going to be that easy to pull off in arena unless you have some dragons and beasts on your team as it is. Yanfei on the other hand has got completely different stat spread, having a lot higher speed, which means that he has got better mix phase and damage reduction in his weapon, and also distant counter. So this opens up Yanfei's slot A, and he can also run null follow-up in slot B. So that is something Kyza cannot do. Beast units cannot have access to damage reduction skills, unfortunately, and being able to run damage reduction and null follow-up on a free-to-play unit is going to be helping you tremendously in many matchups, especially in arena. And also the fact that Yanfei is actually 182 BST, so if you plus and merge him, then technically you don't really have to use any kind of trait fruits for him to score 185 BST in arena. Kyza on the other hand has got null guard and null special acceleration, while also having much better damage output because of the true damage in Polished Fang. Kyza has got a lot more defense than Yanfei, but they're still going to be getting doubled a lot more and cannot have access to damage reduction. Kyza is solid, but Yanfei still has a lot of advantages over Kyza, and also does not really have the restrictions of a beast unit. So this is what Kyza will look like at +10 merge, and you can try to +10 merge them when they get an ephemera manual rerun. So overall they're going to be a very solid physically bulky unit, and they're going to be having really good damage output because of the true damage and the special acceleration of Polished Fang. And the null special manipulation in a sense means that they can easily spam their specials. Now because of having that special acceleration in their weapon, it frees up their Sacred Shield slot, so they do not really have to run Steady Breath or Darting Breath or any kind of breath skill to get the special acceleration, which means that you can just run some other Sacred Seal. So that is pretty amazing. And of course, Kyza is a very competent arena option, being able to score 185 BST, and can work if you have beast units or dragon units in your core. There are definitely going to be some reasons why people may not want to invest into Kyza. The first reason is that Kyza is not very fast. Their speed is kind of middling, which can limit their playstyle and matchups, and not to mention you have to depend on quick riposte for the auto follow-ups, and that can be really annoying if you're going to be facing some kind of null follow-up unit. Beast units still have the short end of the stick where they do not have a lot of really good skills which other units have access to, like damage reduction, Ruptured Sky for example, and they don't even have their own exclusive set of skills like dragons do with Dragon's Ire, Dragon Wall and stuff like that. So unfortunately beast units do miss out on some skills which they could have used. And like I said before, Yanfei is also a really recent and pretty strong grail option for the red color. Beast transformation can be a bit of a hard thing to manage for many team compositions if they do not have dragon or beast units as it is. Like for an arena team, if you do not have a dragon unit or beast unit in your core, then it is going to be a bit hard for Kyza to transform. Same goes for summoner duels, and Kyza really wants to transform and get the null guard especially so that they can spam their specials. Kyza does have Close Defense 3 at 4-star and Attack Defense Oath at 3-star. So Close Defense 3 was previously present on Joshua, but it was locked to 5-star. So this skill is a bit more easily available now. And Attack Defense Oath 3 is going to be present on them at 5-star. And they're the only unit other than Altina to have the skill in the history of FE, and certainly the first unit to have this in the Grail pool. If you want to build up Kyza on a budget, then you can just run Quick Riposte on their Slot B skill, and that is going to be extremely helpful with their middling speed so that you can auto follow up in the enemy phase. And on a budget you can just run Moonbow, but you can also run Bonfire or Ignis because Kyza is going to be getting doubled, so you can easily run some higher cooldown specials as they can get the special acceleration from their weapon. And because you're going to be staying near your allies with Attack Defense Oath, a Form Sacred Seal can function pretty well for increasing their defense and to make sure that they can trigger their weapon a lot more consistently. If you want to invest a bit more into Kyza, then Sturdy Stance 3 is a fantastic slot A option. The reason being is that they get the guard effect, and a guard effect is going to be extremely helpful for any kind of tank, much more so for a tank that is going to get doubled a lot because of their speed. So this is definitely going to be helping you in the longevity, and you can also run Mystic Boost to just get some kind of healing. In slots you can run Defense Smoke so that you can have better trigger for your Polished Fang defense check, but you can also run Attack Smoke if you just want to have a cheaper skill and also want to reduce the damage that you take. Again, Ignis can be an option here because Kyza is going to be getting doubled by a lot of modern units because they're going to be really fast, so that works out, but Bonfire is also an option. Now this is the build which you can run for PvE as well as for summoner duels. Attack Defense Menace is a really fantastic slotsy skill because not only it creates a 12-point stat differential between the opponent's defense and Kyza's defense, but it also helps them be a lot more bulky. For using Kyza effectively in summoner duels, you can try to make them as a melee tank and then cover them up with a good far-safe tank like Ascended Fiorm or maybe Brave Hector, so that Kyza can focus on the melee matchups and be a really annoying tank with high defense for the opponent to pierce through. Now, one of the things which Kyza lacks is having -1 special cooldown in their weapon. So if you run Kyza with a Secret Maneuver Captain skill in summoner duels, then after turn 1, you can basically have a 2-turn Bonfire, which means that you can retaliate back with that Bonfire to any kind of opponent, and that is going to be doing so much damage. Alternatively, if you're going to be using this in PvE, or if you're just going to be using this without the Secret Maneuver Captain skill, then Time Pulse with Bonfire could be a combo. Time Pulse is mainly going to be there for the first encounter so that you can retaliate back with Bonfire. So some of those things that you can consider. And then if you want to have a fun build with Special Spiral, then that could be done by running Ignis. So once Special Spiral is set up, then you can just retaliate back with Ignis, and that is going to be doing so much damage because Kyza has got immense amount of defense. So this can just one-shot so many opponents with the true damage that Kyza can get. So incredibly powerful build. Definitely not the best build or anything like that, but it is going to be super fun, just stacking up a lot of defense, a lot of attack, and then retaliating back with a big damaging special. Kyza of course has a lot of value in arena as a 185 BST scoring unit, which you will have to use trade fruits for. So you can just run a distant counter quick riposte build with attack defense solo. Kyza doesn't have the worst resistance and they can still tank some of the magical threats, and their high defense does make it pretty easy to tank a lot of the dagger units and bow units. And attack defense menace is going to be pretty fantastic for arena, even though they don't really need to run a 300 SP slotsy skill. Still, a menace skill is quite good, but on a budget you can always run attack smoke. And Aether as a high scoring special does work out here because they can get the special acceleration. But if you want to have a more invested build, then lull attack defense in slot B is certainly going to be helping you a lot, as a lot of people have the visible buffs in arena, and you can just run time pulse to make Blue Flame a 2-turn special, and this can allow you to retaliate back with it and do a lot of true damage and just have much better one-shot potential. Of course, you don't need to run time pulse, but we're mainly trying to get the one-shots with this kind of build, and you can always run attack defense form instead of running quick riposte to increase their damage output even more along with their bulk. Kyza does have a speed super boon, so you could run this kind of speed meme build that can allow Kyza to reach 50 plus speed. Distant pressure is going to be helping you not only get the distant counter effect, but also plus 5 speed, and the recall damage is going to be sucking a bit, but still you can charge up Aether rather fast because of the special acceleration from their weapon, so you can heal up HP. And attack speed menace is going to be helping you just create the 12-point stat differential with the speed stat, and you can just run a solo skill to boost up their speed even further. So this kind of build can just allow you to run null follow-up in slot B and take care of a lot of the annoying matchups with auto follow-up units. So we're going to be giving up on some of the physical bulk for this kind of build in exchange for having better speed. A speed build on Kyza needs like absolute max investment to function because their speed isn't the highest, and the units that we have nowadays are crazy fast. So many times at most, Kyza is going to be able to prevent the follow-up attacks of the enemies, which can definitely add to their bulk, but for doubling a lot of the enemies, you need to just invest everything into their speed with summoner support, expensive skills, and everything. But if you don't really want to run a speedy build, then the standard distant counter physical build is also an option. If you really want to use Kyza in Aether raids, then they could be run with a Farsive unit in Aether raids offense. With Mila Ash being in the light season, it is rather easy for Kyza to transform. An attack defense unity is going to be helping you when Node is going to be hitting you with the attack speed menace. And because of Kyza's high defense, they could be a target of the chill defense or Wagasa plus. So having the unity skill definitely helps you a lot. But keep in mind that you're going to be giving up on the guard effect from Sturdy Stance. So Ignis or Bonfire as your special is going to be working out, but most of the time melee threats are going to be able to outspeed Kyza, so Ignis is going to be triggering when the opponent doubles you. So they're just going to be handling the melee threats like Note, Legendary Sigurd, Hell, and stuff like that, and a Farsive ally can just protect them from the range attacks and focus on those matchups, and also protect your team from getting sniped by the ranged units. So hope you all enjoyed my review. If you did, then make sure to share this video with your friends who are thinking of building up Kyza. And if you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. I want to thank all of my YouTube members, and for more free-to-play analysis videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as New York Keaton after seeing the preferred weapon of Kyza. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.